Hello everyone, Tina Spalding Trance Channel here today. I just wanted to come online to do a video for you. I get these little nudges to do videos for you, and just to let you know that on Monday, March 21st, we are doing another hour-long Q&A with Jesus and Ananda. And we do these hour-long Q&As for the public. We do these on a regular basis for our membership, but once a month now we are doing Q&A hour for the public. You can register on our homepage at channelingjesus.com. The cost is $22 US, and you will get a recording of that session, and you will also have the opportunity perhaps to have your question answered. We try and get through quite a few questions in that hour. Jesus and Ananda give shorter questions during these public events, and they tend to do long form answers in our membership Q&A sessions. So if you're a member, you get 2 1.5-hour channeling sessions each month as part of your membership, along with a whole bunch of other things. So consider joining us on Monday, March 21st at 1 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. That's where I'm right now. And right now we'll see what Jesus has to say about the world and our spiritual practice and how we're doing these days. You are blessed beings indeed. I am that one that you know as Jesus. When we look at the energies of the planet, what we are seeing are two sort of very, very different pathways that you are taking. Some of you are being lured into the mass media programs, and we are heartfelt sorry for those of you that are having that done to you. But what is happening is you are seeing what you believe in, you are seeing where you get your information from, and the most important of all, you are seeing how it's making you feel. What we are seeing in the other part of the population, those that have cottoned on, as you say, to the deceptions, to the constant stream of fear, is that they are turning off those streams of fear because they are realizing that they are making them feel awful, and their knowledge that when you feel awful, you are in need of a recalibration. When you feel awful, you need to change what you're doing. When you feel awful, your guidance system is working as it is meant to work. Your guidance system is tuned into the frequency of love. The mistake that those who are following the mainstream media stories are making is that they think they're feeling bad for those beings who are in a war zone on the other side of the world. They think that feeling bad is the sign that they are loving them. And this is absolutely incorrect. This is absolutely incorrect. Love never feels bad. Love always feels good. And so this is where your religious training, your cultural foundations of believing in suffering and guilt and shame and martyrdom, these are playing out now in spades as we look at the energy systems of the planet. So when you feel bad, the first thing we want you to understand is that if you are looking at something and it's making you feel bad, you have two options. You can stop looking at that thing, and that's what we would suggest as it relates to war that is not taking place in your home, on your front lawn, in your community. If you are watching war, you want war. Now, this is where most of you are who are watching the dramas that are playing out on the global scene at this time do not think that you do. But if you did not want war, you would not be looking at it. You would not be talking about it. You would not be immersed in it. You would understand that looking at war is feeding war. When you look at something and it makes you feel bad, what we would say to you is stop looking at it and then do something that will create the opposite of that thing that you don't like. So for example, if you are an animal lover and you watch and think about and observe the cruelty to animals on this planet, you will feel bad every single day, because there's a lot of cruelty to animals on this planet. But what we will tell you is, if you look at that and you say, I don't want cruelty to animals, what is it that I can do to alleviate the pain of suffering animals? Then we will say, turn away from what it is you are looking at, and then say to yourself, what am I capable of in terms of caring for animals and being kind to them? Okay, I'm going to make a regular $100 donation to my local SPCA. I'm going to go to them and say, is there anything that I can do to help? Oh, you have some puppies that need to be walked. You have some dogs that need to be groomed. You have some shelters that need to be hosed out and cleaned each day. Do something tangible towards that which you want to see thrive. And you will feel better. You will feel better. You will be focusing on, wow, I spent 2 hours today helping somebody with their creature. It could be that you know somebody who's elderly and has a pet, and you know that the pet is not getting enough walking time. Perhaps it's a small dog or something like that, and you see the elderly person struggling to move. Go and knock on their door and say to them, I love animals, and I'm doing my best to help animals out in this part of my spiritual practice. I'd love to take your dog for a walk each day. Would that be okay? What time of the day is most challenging for you? And that person may say to you, 5 o'clock in the evening is very challenging. My dog still has energy. I'm tired. I can't take them for a walk at that time of day. And you can say, okay, I'll come 3 or 4 times a week and take your dog out for a walk at 5 o'clock, 5:30, something like that. Give me your number and I'll phone you and let you know in the morning what time I'm coming by. Now, this is the kind of behavior that we would like to see in people who are heartbroken over animal suffering. To do something absolutely tangible, every single one of you, doesn't matter how much money you have or how rich or poor you are or whatever, you could do that. But what happens in humans' minds now, the way you've been trained, the way your society is moving, is that you will be protesting those who are being cruel to animals. You will be watching videos of animal cruelty. You will be heartbroken. You are focusing on the wrong thing. You are looking at that which is designed to inspire you, and you are falling for the training program of your society, which is guilt and shame and a lot of hand-wringing and crying over spilt milk. We want you to understand that this is a cultural teaching, and it's playing out in spades right now, because what you have is millions and millions of people wanting to attack now the economy, the people, the structure of Russia, because of a story that they've been told on the news or on social media. A month ago, they could have cared less what was happening in the Ukraine. They could have cared less what was happening in the Ukraine. But because the mass media has been pumping the fear, pumping the judgment, pumping the story, suddenly now this has become the most important thing. And we would say to most of you that are upset about the war, the way to end war is to end war in your own life. End war with your family members that you are not talking to. End war with yourself, the self-loathing that you have when you look in the mirror or you reflect upon what you've achieved in your life. End war in your own life. You do not understand that watching violence, speaking violence, participating even in boycotting a country that has really done no harm to you, you are now joining in the frequency of attack. You have become to that country the same thing that Russia is to the Ukraine. You have become an attacker. You have become a believer in attack and war, and you are feeding it, and that is why they are feeding you with it, because they want your energy. They want your fear. They want your anger. They want your self-righteous indignation. These are low frequency feelings that the global structures that run your planet feed from. They feed from this. It is what is allowing them to bring into being laws and rules and regulations that are low frequency, because they are keeping you in a low frequency because you don't know how the rules of creation work. The rules of creation are do not attack, or you will be attacked. So you're attacking Russians or judgment of Putin or Trump or whatever it is that you have been attacking. And a lot of you are attacking in your mind a lot of things. You're attacking a lot of things in your minds. It is that frequency that is permitting corrupt governments to pass laws that will attack you. It's that simple. Your frequency of fear and constant worry and constant concern about death and dying, that is the frequency that is allowing your planet to get sicker and sicker. Now, we do not want to overly berate those that have chosen to join in the war, because that's what you're doing. If you're watching it, you're joining in the war. If you're hating Russia, you're joining in the war. If you're hating Putin, you're joining in the war. We challenge all of you that are watching this video to stop right now and to listen to what the story is that comes up in your mind. Turn off CNN or whatever news channel you're watching. Turn it off. Stop seeking out the pictures of wars and people losing their homes. And understand that you want it. When you look for it, when you watch it, you want it. And when you want it, you get it. These battles that you are seeing playing out on your media screens are coming from within all of you. They are coming from within all of you. The fear mongering is coming from outside, cultivating it within you and regenerating itself. So the powers that be cannot make these things happen without your support. They cannot make these things happen without your support. So stop supporting them. Stop looking. Stop wringing your hands in fear. Stop believing their lies and turn it off and use that energy that you have been using. And now you're all feeling disillusioned. You're feeling sad. You're feeling overwhelmed. You're feeling fearful about the future. All of that low frequency has now been imported into your world. And your world is going to get more and more challenging. We want you to know that this is true. We want you to know that this is true. However, when we look at the overall frequency of the overall planet, there is thriving happening. People are planting their gardens. People are milking their cows. People are growing their seeds in their greenhouses. People are going back to school and re-educating themselves. People are doing things that are life-affirming. And this is really our message for you today. Turn off your media and do something life-affirming within your own world. And when you get the urge to check in on the news and see what's happening, don't do it. Run yourself a bath. Look through a seed catalog. Take your dog for a walk or your neighbor's dog for a walk. Do something that is life-affirming. Go outside and watch the sun go down and listen to the birds sing and say to yourself, I am not in a war zone. I am not in a war. I am not supporting a war. I'm not giving my energy to war. I'm not thinking about war. In fact, I'm going to stop right now and I am going to be here watching the sun go down, listening to the birds flying into the trees to roost. Whatever it is that you are doing, understand that unless the war is in your backyard, it is none of your business. It is none of your business. Go to your life and ask yourself, why am I so focused on other people's suffering? Perhaps I need to look at where I am suffering, because you're avoiding something if you're constantly looking at other people's suffering, looking at other people's wars. There's something in you of the same frequency. Otherwise, you wouldn't watch it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be interested in it. Turn it off and then listen to your own suffering. Are you lonely? Are you unhealthy? Are you disillusioned with your own choices? Do you need to make some changes? Take all the energy that is flying through the airwaves to another part of the world and invest it in your life. Right now, you need to invest in your own lives. There is inflation, there are massive transformations coming to your world, and the more invested you have been in your own education, your own redirection, your own forgiveness practice, the better off you are going to be, because you are going to be higher in frequency, which means that you will be attracted to things of a higher frequency, ideas, people, places, things, and experiences. And those higher frequency things will make your life better. And that does not mean that you should feel guilty or self-centered or anything like that, because your life not thriving is not going to help anybody in the Ukraine. Your life not thriving is not going to help any animal that's being abused. Your life thriving is going to give you the opportunity to contribute to the world more and more and more love. And that is what is happening right now. There is a deep and resounding need for love from you to the world. And real love is looking after yourself so that you are thriving, so that your cup runneth over with the blessings of the divine, which you are all meant to have. You are all meant to be happy and thriving. It is merely a lie that you have been told by your religious institutions and by your governments that you should feel guilty for being happy, that you should feel guilty for being healthy, that you should feel guilty for having abundance. It is not true. It is the way those powerful, influencing institutions keep you down low so that you will not thrive, so that you are more manageable. And right now it is happening in spades. 2 years of fear-mongering for you know what, and now you have more and more fear. Because this is a time when the ego's world is struggling to survive because of the ascension process that is underway. The ascension process means that you are being given the opportunity to graduate with honors when you align with real love, when you align with real happiness, when you align with real purpose and real true understanding of how this place works. This place is treacherous. This place is full of temptation. This place is the ego's playground. And this war is the ego's food. Don't feed it. I am that one that you know as Jesus, and I will speak to you again soon. Well, all right. I have perennials to plant in my garden. I have a dog to walk. I have all kinds of things to do. Get out in your life and feed your life. Invest in your life. Invest in that which you know is life-giving and life-affirming. We'll see you on Monday at 1 p.m. Bye-bye.